How you doing, guys? BC90 here, back with the next video in my Poise Showcase series, and today I'm going to be revisiting the Claymore on a dark build. Now, I did take a look at the Claymore a couple of videos ago, but I'm not a big fan of the build that I showcased there, looking back on it, so I thought I would showcase a better build using the Claymore, and that's with a dark build essentially. So let's go straight over to the status page here, guys. I'm at soul level 125 using the Prisoner's Chain as per usual, so those are my stats. Now, when we two-hand the Claymore at its max upgrade level infused with a Dark Gem, with 30 Intelligence and 30 Faith, we are getting 585 AR, which is pretty solid. Now, over to my equipment page, the Dark Claymore plus 10 gets a B scaling in Intelligence and Faith when it is infused with a Dark Gem. And basically we have a Dark Gem infused here to be able to chip through those meta shield setups. So your Black Knight shield setups with straight swords, you really need something that can actually chip through them to create a bit of pressure. So that's what the Dark Infusion is for. And in my second right hand slot I have a Dark Longsword plus 10, which gets an A scaling in both Intelligence and Faith, and again it is Dark infused there, so it can help us chip through those meta shield setups. And also it's our secondary weapon option here to be able to help us finish people off, and also to help us deal with unfavorable matchups, for example those quick step users. Now, we'll just one-hand our weapon here for a second, guys, just to show you that when we're one-handing this weapon, we are still getting 570 AR, and with the Dark Longsword one-handed, we are getting 480 AR, so it's pretty good. Now, I will say that because the Claymore is a great sword, you want to be two-handing it at all times in order to take advantage of the hyper armor that you get from it that stacks with your armourpoise value. So if you actually one-hand a Greatsword, just in case you guys didn't know, you will not receive any hyper armor bonus, so you've got to be two-handing it there to take advantage of the hyper armor. But just to show you guys, we still are getting decent damage anyway, and essentially when we swap out to our Dark Longsword, it's going to be hitting pretty hard as well. Now, back over to the equipment page, in my left-hand slot, I have the Sacred Chime of Filianor to open a match with Bountiful Light. So essentially, I like casting Bountiful Light at the start of a match and pray for favor as well if I have the chance, and then switch out to the Blessed Cestus to get a total passive HP regen of 12 HP regen per tick for at least 60 seconds of the match in the arena there, guys. So that's some pretty good passive HP regen. Now, back over to the equipment page, second left-hand slot is a Blessed Cestus plus 10, and in the third left-hand slot, I've managed to fit in a light crossbow plus 10 with explosive bolts. And as you can see there, my weight ratio is at 69.8%, so we are not fat rolling. So the light crossbow here is essentially for utility, and it's pretty damn good at that as well. Now, in terms of armor, we are using full Havels here, guys, with the Wolf Ring plus 3 for a total armourpoise value of 54.63. Now, what does this mean? Essentially, when we're at 54.63, meaning a Greatsword two-handed, we can infinitely hyper armor trade against every two-handed R1 up to and including regular hammers and also Greatswords, and we can tank one two-handed R1 from Ultra Greatswords, Great Axes, and also Great Hammers. So what this essentially means here, guys, is if you're fighting someone who is wielding one of those three heavier weapon classes and they are wearing light armor or rags, then that will be a beneficial trade for you, because it is likely that at the trade you are going to survive their opening two-handed R1 without getting poise broken, while you will poise break them with your opening attack. So you'll be able to get in your two-hit combo there, guys, which is a beneficial trade for you. Now, if those heavy weapon users are wearing medium to heavy armor, then it is not a beneficial trade, because essentially you're both going to be able to tank your opening attack, and they'll be able to follow up with that second swing that'll poise break you instead. So really it's about gauging what you can and can't trade against, and if it is a beneficial trade for you. Now, you don't have to be using the Wolf Ring plus 3 here at all to have your poise level this high. I'm doing it because, it's a poise showcase, so I want to showcase what you can trade against essentially to its maximum potential, really. But if you don't want to be trading against those Great Hammers, for example, obviously because it's more effective for you to be hitting them outside of active frames with your Dark Longsword and also shooting them in their wind-up with the light crossbow, then you don't have to be using the Wolf Ring. You can essentially use the Life Ring plus 3 instead, and then when you do get hit, switch out to the Sun Princess Ring for that passive HP regen, guys. So you have those options there if you do not want to be using the Wolf Ring plus 3. So it really depends on your playstyle, but for me, because I'm going to be showing this as a poise showcase, I want my poise level that high. Now, back over here, the other ring setup, or setups here, is essentially the same as always. The Havel's ring +3, the Prisoner's Chain, and also the Chloranthe ring +3 to round out the build. So that's it, guys. Let's go take this bad boy into the arena. Alrighty, guys, here we go. So it looks like we have a sword and board over there. Sword and board, baby. Sword and board. The Zika, baby. Cool name, I guess. Tried to go for the parry there. Ooh, tried to go for the parry there yet again. Going for our free aiming crossbow. Whoop! Here and there, it's a lot of fun to free aim that crossbow. Really throws players off guard. I mean, even if you just miss, the fact that you're free aiming that crossbow tends to freak people out. Whoop! And there we go, GG. Alrighty, guys, next up in the arena. Alrighty, so it looks like we have the Moonlight Greatsword on a super laggy mage. Little bit of lag. Bit difficult to gauge here with all this lag. That's alright. Oh shit. Maybe not. Whoop. This is where our crossbow comes in handy here, guys. Oh shit. GG. Alrighty, guys, next match in the arena here today. Alrighty, so it looks like we have the Crucifix of the Mad King. Now, I sincerely do not want to get hit by that thing when it is buffed. I can tell you that much. Oh, he switched up. Alright. To the Onyx Blade. The Onyx Blade. switched up again to the Crucifix of the Mad King. See if he goes for a buff. Free punishment. Oh, and we just missed that punishment. Disappointed in myself there. Too damn slow. Too damn slow. I knew he was going to go for that parry, guys. I absolutely knew it. So just get behind him. Alrighty, guys. What do we have next? Looks like we have Gale's Greatsword over there. Nope. Actually, it's the Black Knight Great Axe. Black Knight Great Axe. Whoops. That was stupid of me. Running attacks for days. So you notice my HP regen there, guys. Almost back at full health. Whoops. Should have ran there, not jumped. Ooh, I thought it was over there. Now it is. GG. Alrighty, guys. Next match. Okay, so it looks like we have the Frayed Blade. Ow. Knocked me on my ass. Nice. GG. Alrighty, guys, straight on to the next match. Okay, so we got a mace there. Mace. I like the mace. I've yet to make a video using the mace, but I will. I'll get to it eventually. It's a medium hyper armor weapon, but it benefits from perseverance. Which allows it to contest heavier weapon classes, but not when you are lacking the poise to do so. Now, we have no trouble here fighting regular hammers, so he's going to have to use that perseverance if he wants to go for trades. Couple of free aimed shots just to spice it up here a little bit with our opponent. Whoops! I got to really learn to, not jump accidentally, because it has cost me dearly in the past. Now I'm really wondering why this gentleman hasn't bothered with perseverances yet. I mean, he should be abusing the shit out of perseverance. should be. So why isn't he? No idea. No idea. Well, that's alright. Whoop. Oh gee. Oh gee. Whoop. Whoops. Went in for that running attack. So remember, running attacks give you less hyper armor. So not consistent for trading. There we go. GG. Alrighty guys, next up in the arena. Looks like we have a classic sword and board setup. Tough guy, huh? Wants to stand still there and, you know, look awesome. No worries. No worries, buddy. That's what you want to do. Not a problem. Get him with that free hand crossbow. Nope. GG. Alrighty guys, let's go for one last match here today. Okay, I don't think this guy's going to give us the opportunity there to use our double regen stack. So we'll just use one. And we have got a sword and board setup. Black X Shroud. Scoping each other out. Scoping each other out here. There's the trade. Little bit of fun there with the crossbow. It's really just to psych our opponents out. I mean, when we free aim that crossbow, if we hit them, that's great. But it's also a good tool to psych them out there. You know, knowing that they have that projectile to deal with. When it's free aimed as well. And there we go. GG Black Shroud. GG. Alrighty guys, so that brings us to the end of this particular video, revisiting the Claymore on a dark build, and I had a lot of fun using this one here guys. I'm a big fan of the Claymore. It's been one of my favourite greatswords for a long time. Now it's not as effective here in Dark Souls 3 as it used to be in previous Souls games, but it's still pretty damn good. And obviously for the greatsword class, it is worth a look for your poise builds or your heavy poise builds. Now because it's a greatsword, it's essentially a medium hyper armor weapon, but as I showcased in this video, you can stretch that to its you know, extreme or maximum potential here guys to be able to trade those heavier weapon classes, but you don't have to. It really depends on your playstyle and what you want to be doing with it, but it's a lot of fun to be out trading those heavier weapons with a greatsword there, guys, so it's up to you what you want to do. And it's such a majestic and simple looking weapon, but it's so damn effective in my opinion. And you know, I'm a big fan of the Claymore there, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the like button. If you're enjoying my content, please subscribe. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Until next time.